Hi, I'm Alvin Fritz. I'm an architect just working on washroom design layouts and thinking about washroom design layouts and what all they mean. And I'd like to tell a few stories just about some design opportunities that we've had. Recently had an opportunity to redesign the stage at the Southminster United Church in Lethbridge. And one of the tasks associated with that was the redesign of the washroom environment. And so initially they had thought of Shanahan's partitions, just a simple toilet partition, very simple finishes within the spaces. And as I thought about it, it just didn't seem right to not carry the wood that was in the sanctuary into that washroom environment. So we did the design doing exactly that. You can see the wainscoting that really created this warmth so that when it's used by the public in their gowns and in their finer clothing, they're going to feel comfort and at home. And so you can see all of the washrooms were in fact defined with wood paneling rather than in regular enameled metal partitions. And I actually had an inspiration when I started the design to do something special. Started to talk to our client, the Southminster United Church, about wouldn't it be great if when you walk into the space the lights would come on automatically, music would come on, and then when you stick your hands under the faucets they'd come on automatically. And we captured their imagination, and pretty much all of that was achieved within that design environment. So it was really great. The client also is quite an artist, and so made little sculptures in an alcove on the way into the washroom environment, men's and women's, now clearly identified, and they actually were based on actual people that attend at Southminster or have attended in the past. So there you go, the wainscoting, the wood carried into that environment. We brought in some granites and really made a beautiful environment. Even the ceiling within the bathroom was sort of that historic look, as if it was embossed metal. And so very happy with giving that kind of thought. Now, one of the things that I've discovered recently with regards to the handicapped environment is that quite often we end up having to make the vanities and everything so that they're all wheelchair friendly, and it's quite cumbersome. What do you do with the mirrors? It really needs a tilt mirror and so on and so forth. So one of the thoughts that we've been having is, what if that all happens within its own environment? There's a certain amount of efficiency there. So thinking in terms of having a sink within the water closet environment, you now have that 5-foot turning radius addressed. You really have an ability to utilize the space more efficiently. The only concern I have in that regard is that you now have a dedicated sink within a dedicated environment. If a second person in a wheelchair were to arrive at the washroom, they now would not be able to use a sink while somebody is in utilizing the washroom. And so still giving a little bit of thought to that, but it certainly from an economic perspective would make a lot of sense. Now I'd like to talk briefly about the fact that really we are sometimes handicapped, and I am when I travel on an airplane. I'm going to demonstrate that in just a moment here, and also talk to you about the Winnipeg airport, which has been recently appointed with new bathrooms, and chat with you about that. Now, oftentimes when you are tending for others, say for instance you're this mom, you may be expectant, you've got one on your hip and one at your hand. If you think that doesn't change how you move through your environment, you know what, I'd love to just have you give that a try. Take a child on your hip, put another one on your arm, and you know what, if they're not particularly well behaved that day, which I probably could manage through another Coke or a bundle of sugar, then you would discover that you are very challenged within your environment to look after those. Now when I travel, I am challenged because I suddenly have bags. I generally travel with several bags, and I'm going to show them to you. And then the other thing, of course, is the cell phone will ring. If I'm on the ball, I will already have my headset in or my Bluetooth. Otherwise, I'm going to be walking around like this, quite challenged in my environment, because now not only am I tending my bags, but I'm also trying to manage my phone. And so just like with those children, I in fact have, in essence, handicapped myself.